Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Greatness of SmackDown, live from my bedroom. Yes, the production quality is absolutely insane right here. Another day, another banger. Yeah, so as you guys know, I currently cannot record in my studio. This is the only room in my house that is actually finished, so I can record right here, on the weekends. I know it's silly to complain, but it's a lot of work, to get all the equipment right here, and then to the other house, and there's baby, and yeah, it's been stressful, but I'm happy that I'll be able to post this video on time. I think it was a decent episode of SmackDown. Maybe I didn't necessarily care about the matches, but the promo work was absolutely amazing. Sure, the ending wasn't the best. I would put the first segment in the end, but at the end of the day, you gotta keep people excited, and that was a great way to kick off the show with John Cena and Roman Reigns. And I gotta compensate. These videos don't look the same, so I have a great offer. I have an amazing offer right now. Not 1.5 inches on your Coco Jumbo. If you click that like button, you'll get up to 2. That's right, 2 inches on your Coco Jumbo. Oh, and let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about this? I don't think it looks that bad, honestly. I think it looks pretty okay. Thankfully, I have a pretty big TV, and it has these lights. You can basically put anything right here. You guys probably don't even give a shit. So let's talk about SmackDown. The show kicked off with John Cena. Some amazing booking right here. Some great, smart, innovating decisions happening in the WWE. We have John Cena for the whole month. We can use him on television. Not only dark matches. People, I think we have a genius in the creative team. Cena welcomes us to SmackDown and hypes the SummerSlam match with Roman Reigns. With school going back in season, it's perfect time to give Roman Reigns his report card. Cena says Reigns is a D, a below average D, a D-head, a D-bag, and a huge disappointment. Fair enough, you can say anything about Roman Reigns. Saying that Roman Reigns carries a below average D, that is just slander. Look at that dude. Do you really believe that, Cena? Yeah, I don't think so either. He can lift more with that thing than I can do with my arms. And look at these guns. He's a disappointment because for 10 years WWE has been selling us Roman Reigns, and judging by the numbers, the only one buying is Roman. Cena came back with a very specific agenda, to give Reigns an F, and he'll receive that at SummerSlam. Wow, this match is gonna be a bit more romantic than I thought. Cena asks the crowd, do you think Reigns will beat the hell out of him at SummerSlam? The crowd was a bit confused. They didn't understand the question, so we got a mixed reaction. He asked that question again, and now we heard a bit more boos. Cena says yes, he will, but at the end of the match, you'll hear 1, 2, 3, and I'll win. We see Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, and this is what we needed like 3 weeks ago. Roman Reigns and John Cena in the same ring. I've heard WWE decided to do this segment because they felt like, even though this match is going to be, important anyway, people will care anyway, it's John Cena versus Roman Reigns, they felt like the booking wasn't the best. Yeah, no shit. Cena says he's going to embarrass Reigns on the biggest stage of them all. Reigns asks Cena if that's it. Cena says that's all he needs. Everybody knows the company belongs to the fans and not Roman Reigns. And the only one that can shut up Roman Reigns is John Cena. He came back so he can serve Reigns a big slice of humble pie. So maybe Cena is the one who did it. Cena says he doesn't need to prove himself to Reigns. He knows he's going to be beaten up, but all that matters is that after 1, 2, 3, he's gonna win the match, and he actually said that like 7 times during the promo. Reigns says Cena is good enough to main event SummerSlam, good enough to win the WWE title, but not the Universal title. He says 20 years of missionary may have been good enough for Cena, but it wasn't good enough for Nikki Bella. Boom, roasted. That's the stuff I want to see, man. That's the stuff I want to see. It's funny how WWE actually cut the first time Roman Reigns mentioned missionary out of YouTube, but they continued mentioning that in every single promo, so I don't understand whether that's a shoot or it's still WWE Creative's idea, but they decided to just go with it. Cena talks about how Roman Reigns has been protected, how he almost ruined Seth Rollins, and run Dean Ambrose out of the WWE, and oh boy, the pop from the crowd. Sure, logically, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I understand that. The only logic you could find in that sentence is that maybe Dean Ambrose left because all the opportunities were given to Roman Reigns. I think that's what John Cena meant. Whatever the case may be, it was still great, and the crowd reacted. WWE rarely respond to AEW, mention AEW, so that was big, breaking the fourth wall. We all knew it's gonna happen between these two, but I did not expect WWE to mention Dean Ambrose. Imagine if they said Jon Moxley. That would have been even better in my opinion, using his AEW name instead of the WWE name. I mean, it's kind of a cheap pop, but it works. He says he's been protected his whole career and it's still not working. And of course, he kept mentioning 1, 2, 3, how he's gonna get beaten up and still win the match. That's all he needs. It's gonna be a great story. And WWE brought back John Cena because, of Roman Reigns. That's all you need. That's what we needed a few weeks ago. It's that simple. Roman Reigns, John Cena in the same ring. Unfortunately, we didn't hear Paul Heyman. He didn't say anything, which is kind of a, I think it's a missed opportunity in my opinion. He's so great on the microphone. He could say something about John Cena, I'm sure. We might see that because I think there's one SmackDown left. But yeah, still a great promo, and this segment alone makes it into one of the best SmackDowns we've seen in a while. Is it as good as 2017's promos? I don't think so, but I mean, to be fair, they basically covered everything during that time, so it's a bit more difficult right now to find more reasons for John Cena to fight Roman Reigns. I get it, but it was still very good. Are you guys Team Cena or Team Reigns? I mean, whatever, I like both guys, but the slander, I cannot agree with John Cena, the way he talked about Roman Reigns' Coco Jumbo, this is just not true, this is false information. Then we saw the Intercontinental Championship match, King Nakamura versus Apollo Crews, and you knew who's gonna win just by looking at the presentation. Apollo Crews, the Intercontinental Champion, got a jobber entrance. Nakamura got a full entrance while Apollo Crews was already standing in the ring. That actually says a lot. That's already a spoiler. They gave up on the guy. We saw Booze with a distraction and the referee tells him to leave the arena. Then we saw Aziz trying to interfere and the referee did the same thing. So it was one-on-one, no distractions, and that also gave it away. Apollo is losing. And that's exactly what happened. Shinsuke Nakamura won the match, the new Intercontinental Champion. No matter how you feel about it, Pat McAfee was really happy about it. I mean, I don't mind it, honestly. I think, he's pretty over with the crowd. Even Booze is really over with the crowd, so I think it's a decent decision. I don't mind it one bit. I think the matches are gonna be a bit better, and Nakamura is almost a main eventer, so he kinda makes the championship look a bit more important in my opinion. The issue is, I'm already seeing the downfall of Apollo Crews. I don't think he's going to recover from this. I really don't think so. He's gonna be used as one of these guys who talks crap, someone makes a return from an injury, or someone needs a push. I'm already seeing Big E beating the hell out of Apollo Crews for 5 weeks in a row. That's what's gonna happen. Apollo Crews is gonna get some heat, he's gonna get beaten up, and that's the way he's gonna be used. It's always the same story with these kind of gimmicks. Apollo Crews, Jinder Mahal, the Great Khali, and there are probably 10 more examples. When someone is using the race or country, they always end up losing their push like 5 months after it happened, and they kinda become into a comedy gimmick or just jobbers or end up being released. Best case scenario, they change their gimmicks. We saw the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. Montez Ford is back from an injury and he's here to prove himself. This was a pretty fun match. No matter how you feel about the SmackDown tag team division, I mean, it's really not that bad. I mean, we literally have a tag team championship feud between the Mysterios and the Usos, and also Alpha Academy versus the Street Profits. It's really not that bad. So this was a fun little match, and obviously to protect Otis, the Street Profits won, but they pinned Chad Gable. So I think this was fine. Okay, I've changed my opinion on Seth Rollins. It took me a very long time to get into this gimmick. But right now, with the new theme song, with the suits, with the way he dances, I know it's not gonna make a lot of sense to you guys, but he kinda reminds me of the devil. You know, in movies or TV shows, when a devil, I don't know, visits Earth, the devil always looks like a handsome dude with a weird suit. And that's the vibe I got from Seth Rollins. Just a horrible human being. Just a horrible, insane, mental human being. That's already the best feud WWE have right now. But this promo got me even more excited. It's like we're seeing a different side of Seth Rollins. I think some credit belongs to Edge. Edge really got the best out of Seth Rollins. He says Edge will not be here tonight. Fans boo, they're chanting, "We want Edge." But Rollins is just as disappointed. But according to Edge, we have the next big thing. Edge Light. Obviously, Seth Rollins says Edge is not even close to his level. He even shows a video package narrated by some movie trailer guy comparing their careers, basically saying, you know, Edge did this, but Seth Rollins did it way better, and nobody remembers what Edge did in the past because of how much better Seth Rollins did it. Typical generic heel stuff, but it really worked right here. Rollins says if he had stomped Edge back in 2014, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't have this dream match. All of these moments ever since Edge came back wouldn't be possible. And this is where it got really good. Edge wouldn't have an acting career, and he wouldn't be pushing his kids at home on a swing set because they would be pushing him on a damn wheelchair. That was really strong. That was okay. And the delivery made it even better. He obviously blames Edge for making him say things he doesn't want to say. At SummerSlam, he won't hold back. He will stomp Edge's head into the mat, and if that puts him out for good, then so be it. I love this. I love the storyline. Obviously, Edge is a great storyteller, and in my opinion, a lot of credit, goes to Edge. He got the best out of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, I don't think he was ever bad, but I kind of lost interest in him. And maybe Edge was exactly what Seth Rollins needed. I mean, Rey Mysterio is great, and you would think that someone like Rey Mysterio could get the best out of Seth Rollins because it's easy to make people feel sorry for Rey Mysterio. You also involve his family. For some reason, it was a bit too goofy, and it didn't really work. It's all about the little things. I think that one promo did more than half of the Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins rivalry. We saw the Mysterios versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, another tag team match. It was pretty good. The crowd are really responding to Dominic Mysterio, which is a good sign. We saw the Usos on the screen. They tried to distract Mysterios, which kinda worked at first, but they still managed to get that W, so they outsmarted the Usos, Roode and Ziggler, and they won the match. The story is fine, but that's not what's important right here. We saw the match at Money in the Bank. We all know what we're gonna get. It's gonna be great, so I'm excited about this one. Okay, we saw Baron Corbin. The hair keeps on growing, the beard keeps on growing, and the clothes aren't getting washed anytime soon. This is Corbin's last chance to raise funds before bankruptcy. He obviously mentioned how he lost everything, and he wants everyone to contribute a minimum of $100,000. And my man came with a credit card scanner. So Kevin Owens interrupts and he says, "Look, Owens, it's all good. I know you want to donate. I'm not sure, if your Canadian credit card is gonna work, but I'm willing to try." Kevin Owens says, "Shut up. You need to stop this. Nobody feels sorry for you. You're a horrible human being. You're greedy. Drew McIntyre was willing to give you a chance, but you asked for $100,000. Corbin now asks for $1,000. Owens says, "Okay, I'll give you $1,000 if you can beat me." Baron Corbin was about to say, "Well, I would have that money if you weren't such a greedy piece of stunner." Yeah, we saw a stunner. Then we saw the match, and even though Corbin is, well, homeless pretty much, not sure, he looks rough, he looks tired. I'm not sure if he's getting the right nutrients. He can still go, he's not being presented as a total loser, so it wasn't like a 1-minute match. But in the end, of course, Kevin Owens wins, and Corbin didn't get the money. Probably came back home and said to his daughter, "Some people eat bugs. Should we try that?" I know some people have a problem with this gimmick, saying that he looked promising, he had a serious gimmick, he was a badass, and now he's a loser. I see it a bit differently. I mean, it's good television. I was never a huge fan of Corbin's work when it comes to his storylines or segments. He was always impressive in the ring. He always had a great moveset. I never really cared about any of his stories, especially the King stuff. That was just horrible. It got old like a month later. But right now, this is the best thing we've seen from Baron Corbin ever. It's really good. It kind of gives me Sami Zayn vibes. By the way, where is Sami Zayn? You have that guy on your roster and you're not using him? How? I think there's a perfect opportunity to put these two, not necessarily in a tag team, but into an alliance of some sort. I think they could work great together. Both are basically crazy. They're blaming WWE. You could easily make a segment where Sami Zayn is like, "Look at this man right here. This is what this business done to this man." And then he makes it all about himself. There's a perfect opportunity to do that. It seemed like at one point they were about to be a tag team, but WWE just forgot about it. I think Kayla asked Corbin, "What's next?" And he stole Big E's Money in the Bank contract. I mean, the man is desperate. He probably forgot that it's Big E's contract. He thought he's going to find a sandwich in Otis' briefcase. The man just needs a sandwich. That's all he needs. And of course, the main segment was the contract signing, which in my opinion was kinda underwhelming. I know the match is gonna be good, I just didn't really care about it. So, Sonya Deville says it's gonna be different, no brawling. Sasha says, "I didn't came back just to be friends with you after you injured me," obviously. And they were about to sign the contract. Sasha Banks says, "I need witnesses." We saw Carmella and Zelina Vega. They signed the contract. Bianca realized she was about to get jumped, so she attacked them first. We saw a big brawl, and in the end, Sasha Banks stands tall with the SmackDown Women's Championship, and that was basically it. She did her finisher with Bianca's hair, and it wasn't bad by any means. It's just that we saw so much better on this show. But that was your SmackDown, people. Great show. Really liked it. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you want to see that. Make sure to click that like button, and as always, the great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.